Hey, quick question. What is wrong with this picture?
Yes.
If you played Yakuza 7, something about this probably looks wrong to you. I'll give you a hint. It's this. This is not the way it was originally. If you played Like a Dragon in English, this word right here was different. So what's going on here? The answer to that question is one of my favorite little stories in the history of video game localization, and believe it or not, it all comes down to this tweet. I promise this will make sense in a minute. So, in the original Japanese release of Yakuza 7, the command menu looked like this. And when Sega was tasked with translating that menu into English, they translated it to this. Skills, more, guard, and attack. We know this is how they originally translated it because in pre-release footage of the game, this is how it looked. The story of why it doesn't look like that in the final release is pretty crazy, and I'm really excited to tell it. So in June 2020, when we first saw footage of the English version of Yakuza 7, a man named John Riccardi noticed something. For context, John is something of a video game localization legend. He led the English translations of games like Fire Emblem Awakening, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Nier Automata, and like a billion other games. There's a very good chance that if you've played a high-profile Japanese game anytime in the past 15 years, you've probably interacted with John's work. Anyways, John sees this early footage of the English version of Yakuza 7, which would later be called Like a Dragon in the United States, and makes a brilliant observation. He says, quote, "Yakuza Like a Dragon was awesome. Excited to see it in English for the first time. By the way, not too late to change the word more to etc. or extra to make the menu options basically spell out Sega." And just to be 100% clear, what he's saying is, if Sega changed this one word on the command menu, Sega's new flagship AAA game would spell Sega in the command menu every time you got in combat. So this observation of John's goes pretty mildly viral, and as luck would have it, a man named Scott Strickert sees this tweet. This man, Scott Strickert, is important to this story because Scott Strickert at the time was the head of localization for the Yakuza games for Sega. So Scott sees this tweet and replies, "Damn it, John." Now remember, this is only a few months before the English release of Like a Dragon. This all went down in the summer of 2020, and I believe Like a Dragon came out in America in November 2020. So there's 6 months, probably less, between this game leaving Sega, going gold, and ending up on store shelves. Hence, damn it, John. So the question became, would Sega have time to implement this extremely important change before the game shipped? Or had Scott and his team bitten off more than they could chew? Sorry about the random set change, I really wanted to use that bread clip and thought of that joke while editing, so yeah. But sure enough, 6 months later, Yakuza Like a Dragon comes out in English, and the game looks like this. They did it. Now, a big question I've always had is, was this a day one patch that they added? Did they actually patch in this incredibly silly, inconsequential joke? Or did this joke make it in just in time for it to actually be printed onto the disc? So as luck would have it, I actually have a sealed copy of Yakuza Like a Dragon that I've never opened, the Daiichi edition for PS4. So to get to the bottom of this, I actually dusted off my PS4, which I haven't touched in years, loaded up the game completely offline so it was not able to download any patches or anything, booted it up, and here's what I saw. So yes, miraculously, Sega's localization team got this joke just in the nick of time, got it out the door, and that joke is immortalized on every pressed disc of Yakuza Like a Dragon for the rest of time. Whenever I look at the command menu in Yakuza Like a Dragon or any of the games since then, I always think of this story. And yeah, now you know this story of why the command menu changed at the last minute for Yakuza Like a Dragon. If you like this video, let me know. I'm trying to do more small, quick stuff every once in a while between the big videos. I've got like a dozen ideas for just tiny, quick videos that don't necessitate a whole hour-long documentary. So if you enjoyed this, please let me know. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. New Monkey Ball game's gonna be bad. You heard it here first.